This podcast is brought to you by Flipper, a marketplace to buy and sell websites, stores, and digital real estate. Plot your own path. Become a boss by buying a small online business at Flipper. Simply visit flipper.com/techtalks for a free consultation and 50% off fees. That's FLIPPA, flipper.com/techtalks. If you do visit, let me know how you get on. But now, let's get the show started.
Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. Now, as we approach 1,300 interviews covering just about every topic you can imagine, an industry that has been disrupted or improved through technology, you might think that we've just talked about everything and covered everything. But today, I want to explore a topic that I don't think I've ever talked about before. Because online counterfeiting is an issue that's running rampant globally across industries, from beauty products all the way to the print supply industry. And it's estimated that by 2022, counterfeiting will be a $4.2 trillion industry. And global damages from counterfeiting goods is estimated to exceed $323 billion. And the thing is, even the most tech-savvy consumers are often tricked by these false ads, which result in a lost revenue and a hit to a brand's image. But through a company called Redpoints, brands are now beginning to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect and remove counterfeit goods across the internet. And when I say that, I mean all the way from big boys such as Amazon to the smallest copycat websites that you might encounter. So I want to take a deep dive into this topic. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Barcelona so we can speak with Juan Galdeano from Redpoints. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Thank you, everyone. My name is Juan Galdeano. I'm CTO at Redpoints since August of 2016. I have more 20 years of experience in software development. Currently, my team and I were designing and implementing the fast-moving Redpoints technology. We started from scratch in 2016. The objective that we have as a team is try to deliver the best online brand protection technology in the market. That is the main goal we have. In regard to Redpoints, we are a technological company that offers an all-in-one SaaS solution for detecting and enforcement of online IP infringement, including counterfeiting, piracy, and distribution frauds. Our software at this moment is removing more than 100,000 incidents of illegal or illicit products monthly. And we protect diverse kind of brands, from baby products and cosmetics to software and wind turbines of manufacturers. So we almost protect every kind of product.
Excellent. And I'm really looking forward to learning more about Redpoints. But before we do talk about that, can I just ask that you maybe set the scene and tell me more about the scale of this massive global counterfeiting issue that seems to be engulfing the world at the moment? Because it's probably something that not everybody is aware of.
Yeah, sure. The size of the problem is staggering. Even before the coronavirus was unleashed on the world, it was estimated that by 2022, counterfeit will be a $4.2 trillion industry, and the global damages for counterfeiting goods will exceed the $323 billion. So the problem is really huge. Since the coronavirus crisis, this has been intensified. Shoppers have had little choice but to turn to e-commerce, even for basic essentials. Almost everything has to be bought using e-commerce. In the recent studies that we have conducted as Redpoints, we found that 60% of the consumers say that they have increased the online shopping. So they are exposed to this problem more than before.
And can you tell me then about how through red points, brands are now beginning to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect and remove counterfeit goods right across the internet? And from that, I mean, from Amazon all the way down to the smallest copycat websites.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. The red points brand intelligent platforms use artificial intelligence that continuously connects and targeted web crawlers with a rule-based management database, try to learn how is the history of this account and improve the quality of the protection over the time. With the help of the machine learning tools that we have developed, the keyword generations and the image recognition and a lot of machine learning techniques that we are using, we process all the information that we retrieve across over thousands of online marketplaces, websites, social networks, rogue websites, even web shops, and try to enforce all of this in behalf of our customers. And at Redpoints, we use machine learning basically for different things. I try to specify some of them. Like could be, for example, we use deep learning, processing all the information that we found in the internet, and with all those information, try to detect patterns and generate new ways to search, new search keywords or detecting new behaviors to create automation rules. One of the main AI technology that we use is computer vision. So we have 4 main parts in the computer visions. One is the image recognition part. So in this part, we train models using specific asset patterns or unique characteristics. So the idea is trying to detect if the asset that we are protecting is the asset that we found in the image. The other one is image fingerprinting. This is a model that allows us to detect if one image is exactly the same that other image, or is included like any collage or a cropped image or rotated or with color variations. So we use also this technology to with catalog images, that the images that our customers provide to us in order to protect, or as we call the known bad images, that are images that the counterfeiters usually use to sell the product. So with this distinction between these images, we can apply automation from the validation of the product that we are protecting and the enforcement based on copyright or enforcement based on counterfeit, depending on the kind of image that we detect. Also, we complemented this with the logo recognition part that is trying to detect all the logos that are present in the images. So that give us more confident about the presence of the product itself. And also we use OCR to extract text and images that are hidden inside the information that is hidden inside the image, like could be phone numbers or Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts or Instagrams or that kind of things. And the other part that we use for machine learning is the natural language processing. This is the idea behind this. This one is discover hidden information in plain text descriptions, like could be addresses or phones or zip codes or bad numbers or this kind of information that allow us to identify the counterfeiters. And in other cases, try to categorize the information better, like could be about the languages or the qualities or the subtitles or that kind of information that is hidden in the file names that we protect in case of piracy. Also, we use this natural language processing technology to categorize the reviews from the customers in order to know, using the reviews, if the product is legit or not.
So I'm curious, do you have any examples of how brands are beginning to use cutting-edge technology to combat this problem that we're talking about?
Yes, of course. The technology is essential for brands. As I tell you before, we have a lot of technologies, but no one of them is a silver bullet. You need to combine all of them. The problem with brands and with the counterfeit is so massive that the manual work is impossible. Some of them have tried in the past use manual work, have teams to work with this, but it's simply impossible. So you need to combine all the technology, not only the detection and the monitoring technology and the enforcement. You need to be able to go from detection to the enforcement process without human interaction. So with customers like the size of Fila or Foreo or MVMT, that the big customers, and they had a lot of very successful products. So for every success product, you have a counterfeit, you have a replica, you have a lot of problems in that matter. So they need to automate as much as possible. And with good KPIs, we are able to automate the process from the detection to the enforcement with no human interaction at all. And that is what brands need. But you need to combine everything. You cannot say, okay, I've used just logo, or I've used just the search keywords, or I've used just natural language processes. You need to combine everything, create a good score with a high confidence level. And with that score, you can go forward with automation. But the key here is the automation in the technology.
And I recently read that through the advent of e-commerce and social media advertising is spurring on an exponential growth of counterfeits and piracy online too. So, I mean, have you had any experiences with that? And is there any insights that you can share about that?
Yeah, of course. Over the past month of March, April, and May, compared with the January and February, so I'm talking about in confinement, before and before confinement, there was an increment of counterfeit detections in the major marketplaces alone of 58% from the US and 63% in Spain. With the increase of the counterfeits, consumers are now more vulnerable than ever. And so brands are in need to advance IP infringement protection.
I've had countless emails from listeners over the last few weeks talking about their fears and concerns around job security, while also seeing their interest rates on their savings drop considerably. And as a result, many are beginning to look at how they can invest in their future in an uncertain time. Could digital assets be the answer? Now, you might remember that I spoke to Blake Hutchinson, CEO at Flipper, on episode 1194 about how to buy digital assets and websites. In a nutshell, Flipper is a marketplace that you can buy and sell websites, stores, and digital real estate that are just ready to go. So if you do have dreams of running your own successful online business, or perhaps you're looking to exit your existing online business, my friends at Flipper can help you buy and sell. So if you're interested and want to find out more, please visit flipper.com/techtalks. That's FLIPPA.com/techtalks for a free consultation and also 50% off all fees. But now, back to the interview. So, with AI powering technology like image recognition to track brands, patterns, and products, how are you guys using that?
As I told you, we combine all the image recognition parts and patterns in the products, and we combine the image recognition, the image fingerprinting, the logo, and the OCR, everything. And with all of this, we create like funnels with a pipeline. And you are moving through these pipelines, increasing the score or decreasing the score. And at the end, when you finish to all the pipeline, you have a listing with an associated score. This associated score is what we use to go forward with the process and automate as much as possible, or go to review. If we are not confident enough, we have analysts or customers that want to review if this is really a problem or not. And with this review, we learn again. At the end, we receive a feedback, and for the next time, for example, for this seller that is new and you never know about it before. Now we can create a rule using this seller, so in the future it could be fully automated. That's one example.
Excellent. And of course, Redpoints is based in Barcelona. They've got offices in New York, Salt Lake City, and Beijing. So a question I've got to ask is, as CTO, what have been your biggest challenges during that global pandemic? And how did you empower remote working teams through technology? Because it must be incredibly challenging when you're looking at that Barcelona, New York, Salt Lake City, and Beijing, and being able to unite them all at the time of a global pandemic. Or were you already ready for this anyway?
We were already ready for it.
Yeah.
We don't have in Redpoints the work from home policy, but at the end we are distributed over the world. So the remote is there. It's always there. So at the end we had in place all the tools and all the protocols for this. All the security part was already there. So even with the no working from home policy, we have everything in place to do it. Being a SaaS company is also simplifies the process because you are used to work in cloud, and at the end, working from your home or working from the office, you are working outside. So I think in our case, we were lucky and we don't have any issues in that matter. It's true that remote working has drawbacks about communication, about the speed or the performance. At the end, talking to your partner in the next chair is easier than talking from in Slack or in Zoom or in whatever other tool. So at the end, you have lost a little bit of this speed in the communication, but we have done pretty well, I think.
It sounds that way. It really does. I was just thinking back to some of the work that you're doing there. And am I also right in saying that with artificial intelligence, data is now collected to identify patterns and trends that foresee and tackle future infringement tactics too? So it's not just about here and now, it's the future as well, isn't it, right?
Yes, it's true. But at the end, when you use machine learning, you are based on the information that you already collect.
Yeah.
So the thing that you detect is the thing that are already in your database. You can see trends about how it's moving the market. For example, you can see that, for example, one kind of search keywords or terms or images at some points work pretty well, and they start going down in the trend. So you know that you need to change the way that you are working and try to find new ways to work. But what is true and is very relevant for the brands in our case is what we discover from one of them, we apply to all of them. So at the end, you gain from the knowledge of the others. And you, in that case, you are advanced in the future and say, okay, if in that brand we detect this behavior, probably in the other brands in the same market, you will see the same. Even if you are not seeing it now, you will see in the future. So we prepare this brand and we put all in place to be prepared for that brand in the future.
And for any business leaders listening, that we've probably given a bit of a eureka moment and that light bulb moment that's gone off there. I mean, what should they be doing to protect themselves from counterfeiting issues that we've discussed today? Because I think it's a problem that's going to affect so many different companies, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. At the end, we think we're born as a technological company because we think that it's a technological problem and only can be fought with technology. So because of that, we always believe that the strength in this business is trying to be as advanced as possible in technology. To manage search for infringement and indicator across platform, marketplaces, social media domains, or whatever, is often too big that it's impossible to accomplish in a reasonable time frame. At the end, speed is the key because if the listing is there for a long term, they are going to sell more items. So at the end, you need to discover as soon as possible and take it down as soon as possible. So at RedPoints, we run discovery audits for brands that want to assess how big the problem might be. We don't only see in our platform the infringements. We try to collect everything that we gather in the internet from the authorized sellers even. So with these two values, you can dimension the problem. Because I don't know if for a brand, 1,000 legit items are okay and 10,000 of counterfeits are wrong. If you don't have both numbers, it's impossible to know the dimension of the problem. So you need to create a correlation between what is the authorized sellers doing and what is the counterfeiter doing to dimension the problem and see how you're going to attack this problem. And they can be very tough without the assistance of technology.
We've covered a lot of ground today in a short amount of time, and I think there'll be a lot of questions for people listening around the counterfeiting issue. And for those people that want to just find out more information about RedPoints or even contact a member of your team and continue that conversation we started today, can you point them in the best direction of doing that?
Yeah, of course. They can contact or even through our website in www.redpoints.com or via email to comms@redpoints.com. We also have obviously social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So whatever means, any question that they have, we can answer it, or we should at least.
Well, I mean, online counterfeiting is a huge issue that's running rampant in just about every industry. And I think there's so much value in what you've said here today. And I think in the holiday season, since we get to Black Friday and the Christmas kind of area, there's more counterfeiting than ever going off then. So what I'd love to do is probably get you on around about that time, around Black Friday time, and we can talk about this issue again and maybe what people can be looking out for during the holiday season. But more than anything, just a big thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you very much for the invitation, and it was a pleasure to be here with you.
I just love today's discussion about the advent of e-commerce and social media advertising and how it is spurring on this exponential growth of counterfeits and piracy online. But equally, how artificial intelligence is powering technology like image recognition to track brand patterns and products. So ultimately, with AI, data is collected to identify those patterns and trends that foresee and tackle future infringement tactics. But I'm curious, what were your takeaways from that? And have you been hit with any counterfeit goods or being on the wrong end of counterfeit goods? I'd love to hear anything you've got to share on this topic, because like I said at the beginning of the episode, after 1,300 interviews, I think this is the first time we've tackled this topic. So please email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com. My website is techblogwriter.co.uk. Keep those questions coming in. And remember, my book, Great TED Talks Innovation, is available on Amazon. And if this daily tech podcast is not enough for you, I've also got 2 other podcasts out there. We have Tech Fusion by Citrix Ready and Switched On Thinking by Netgear. You can find those on your podcast feeds with a quick search. But other than that, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow where we'll do this show all again. And I'll continue my mission to be the busiest tech podcaster in the business. If there's anyone else out there doing more, please let me know. I'd love to get them on here too. But a big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.